Are you truly a good employee? Listen, anyone can show up, but there's a difference between showing up and actually standing out. Today, we're going to walk you through 6 qualities and characteristics of a standout employee. We're going to talk about these qualities and characteristics. We're going to show you how a model would rate, and then you're going to have a chance to rate yourself. See what your strengths are, what your areas of opportunity are. As I walk through this, I challenge you, get a sheet of paper out and rank yourself in each category. I'm Chad Carden, and I have worked with hundreds of thousands of employees across the globe over the past 2.5 decades, and I truly know what makes an employee stand out from all their peers. So as you look at these 6 qualities of a standout employee, an exceptional employee, let's walk through each one of them one at a time and really dissect what we mean when we put these on the board. All right, so let's look at quality number 1, proactive. A standout employee is proactive. They're not only accountable, they're responsible. And what we mean by that is they're looking at things that they can do to drive impact and value. They're not waiting on their leader. They're not waiting on direction. They're not waiting on their peers. They're seeing what they can do, not to color outside the lines and not to be disruptive. They're being proactive because they truly understand that if they take and do these things, they're actually going to help move results in a positive direction. They're going to drive an even greater impact. The model is a 10. So when it comes to proactive, the model gets into work every single day and looks at what needs to be done and doesn't wait on somebody to give them that direction. They find little things, they find big things, they find opportunities to enhance a process, to enhance a system, and they actually take action. Again, they're not just accountable, they're responsible. Let me dissect accountability versus responsibility. Accountability says that I'm accountable to do something and I know somebody's going to follow up, and so I have to check the box. Responsibility says I'm going to do it because I know it's the right thing to do. I am going to take responsibility. Really good leaders and really good employees drive a responsibility environment where people show up and do the right things because they know it's going to help move and add greater value, and that's what proactive is. The model never misses an opportunity. The model never calls timeout. The model never takes a break. The model is always proactive, looking at ways to add value to his or her team, to his or her department, to his or her organization, and to themselves. That's what we mean when we talk about being proactive. So where do you rate on being proactive? If you had to audit yourself over the past 2 weeks and you looked at being proactive, are you standing out or are you waiting for that direction? Take a second on that piece of paper and rate yourself somewhere between 2 and 9. You're not a 1 because nobody's a 1. You wouldn't even be employed if you're a 1, but you're somewhere between 2 and 9, and you're not a 10 because 10 is absolutely perfect and there's always room for improvement. We all have opportunities to grow. So where would you say, if you had to be real with yourself and honest with yourself, where are you on that proactive scale? Take a second, think about it, give yourself a number. Let's move on. Let's take a look at sharing ideas. Sharing ideas means when you talk about a standout employee, sharing ideas means that they are always looking for ideas that could enhance or improve the situation, the results, the systems, the processes. Not only do they have those ideas, they're actually willing to share those ideas. They feel comfortable. They also understand that they have a confidence level that all their ideas might not be taken, all their ideas might not be implemented, but they have that confidence level to actually take ideas that they think will enhance and share them. They're comfortable sharing it with their peers. They're comfortable sharing it with their supervisor. They're comfortable sharing it with others in the organization that they think will drive impact and value moving forward. So the model, again, is a 10. This employee, this team member is not afraid to speak up. They look for ideas that can enhance and move things in a positive direction, and they share them. They share them in meetings. They share them with their peers. They share them with their supervisor. They share them with anybody in the organization that's willing to listen. And they're also willing to share ideas that may or may not be within their role, might be within their job description. They're just looking for better ideas, but more importantly, they're actually sharing these ideas. When we work with organizations, we talk about creating a shared experience. We talk about creating a comfort in the environment where people are comfortable sharing ideas and comfortable realizing that those ideas are going to be vetted, that those ideas aren't just going to go into a black hole somewhere, aren't going to go into the abyss, but they're really comfortable because they understand that their ideas are one of three outcomes is going to happen with these ideas, right? Either one, they're going to get implemented. Two, there may be a good idea, but they're just not right now. So they might be deferred, maybe 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever that time frame is. Or third, they're going to be trashed. Now, I might not like the fact that my idea is going to be trashed, but at least I know that somebody took a look at that idea. That's what we mean by creating that shared experience and being comfortable and confident to share ideas. So we're sharing ideas. Where are you? Again, somewhere between 2 and 9. Think about the past couple weeks. Think about, write it down on that sheet of paper that I challenged you to get, and think about, have you had ideas? Do you see things that your organization can do to be even better? Do you see things that your team can do? Do you see things that your peers can do, that your supervisor can do? Maybe even you can do. And are you sharing them? Or are you talking about them in sidebar conversations? Are you talking about we should be doing this or we should be doing that, but nothing sharing? Where are you on this scale? The third one is being a team player. Being a team player doesn't mean that you sacrifice. Being a team player, that means it's a win-win situation. It's not a zero-sum game where somebody wins and somebody loses. It's looking at things that you're doing and how does that impact you? How does that impact your team? That's what we mean by being a team player. It's looking for ways that allow you to be successful, also allows your team to be successful, and everybody's moving in the right direction. So again, the model here is a 10. The model is always thinking about the actions that they do and how do those actions impact others. They might not always be positive, but the team player is, again, proactive, thinking about if there's going to be an adverse impact for somebody else on the team, they're willing to communicate that. They're willing to talk about it. They're willing to look at ideas that might create an even better opportunity or even better experience for themselves and their team. They're also there for support. The model never misses an opportunity to support another team member. The model doesn't wait for somebody to ask them to do something. The model looks at what else do my team members need and how can I be there to support. Again, it's not about self-sacrifice. It's about being a team player that shows up in a way where rising tide raises all ships and they help everybody be better and everybody set themselves up for a higher probability of success. That's the model. They do it every day and they never miss an opportunity to impact the team. Where are you? When you look at your team members and you look at your relationships, are they positive? Are they negative? Do you have some infighting? Are there things that you might do if you look in the mirror to really be honest with yourself and know that sometimes you're doing things that have an adverse impact on your team players? Do you want to be a good team player, right? Where are you on that model? Somewhere between 2 and 9. Rate yourself, take a second, and really be honest on ways that you can, where are you at and ways that you can improve. The next quality is being at your best, which means every day you're showing up in a way that continuously drives impact and value. You're not taking a day off. Really good employees don't take a day off. Or if they do need some time to potentially refuel and step away, they take that time. But when they're there, they are always at their best. They're showing up at meetings, they're showing up with their work product, they're showing up with initiatives that they do, and they're looking for ways to continuously improve and enhance their skills and their talents and their attitudes that will help drive even better results. The model here, again, is a 10. The model shows up every single day at the highest level and the best version of themselves. They're looking at ways that they can get even better. They're looking at ways that they can add value. They're looking at ways that their final work product is the best it can possibly be. Might not be perfection because none of us are perfect, but they're always consciously aware of showing up at their best. And they're also challenging others, which pisses some people off because not everybody wants to be at their best, but they challenge others to be at their best. So the model is always walking through those doors or getting into those meetings or jumping on phone calls at their best. Where are you? Again, somewhere between 2 and 9. Where do you show up? When you show up to work, are you coming in at a level 10? Do you always have the best attitude? Do you always have the best approach? Are you always willing to help? Or sometimes do you take a day off? Sometimes are you slacking? Sometimes do you not come in with the right attitude and right approach that's going to allow you and your team to be as successful as they can be? Take a second, give yourself a number. Coming in for a landing here, number 5. Top employees always drive impact. They're doing things that help move the organization forward. More importantly, they're not doing things that could create headwinds or potentially hinder progress as they go. And they're clear on the impact. They understand by what they do how it matters small, how it matters big, how it matters to their team, their department, their organization as a whole, the ultimate results they're trying to give, and they're focused on activities that drive that impact. The model, again, is a 10. Everything the model does moves the organization in a positive direction. Big or small, all the activities they do are designed to help make progress. More importantly, the model is actually saying no to activities or eliminating activities that don't drive impact. They drive impact not only with themselves and their peers, but they drive impact in results. They drive impact in meetings. They look at impact from 2 different sides of the scale: lagging indicators and leading indicators. Lagging indicators is the ultimate scoreboard, the ultimate results. Leading indicators is what activities and habits they need to do that will actually drive those lagging indicators, and they're always set up at a level 10 to drive impact. So in your role, where are you? Again, 2 to 9, where are you in driving impact? Are you doing things that are helping move you forward? Are you doing things that are helping move your organization forward? Or are you doing things that maybe even unintentionally are not helping, but actually hurting progress as we go? Maybe even painful. Are you doing things intentionally? Gallup says that some people come to work and they actually are intentionally dysfunctional. They're intentionally wanting to sabotage. Where are you? And what can you do to improve? We'll get there in just a minute. And finally, brand. Top employees are consciously aware of their brand. Brand is something that you cannot control, but you can influence. You can't control it because it's controlled in the minds of your audience, but you can influence it. You can influence your audience by how you show up and the things that you do. It's sort of like any brand out there in the world. There's major brands out there. Some people like those brands if it's a product. Some people don't like those brands. The brand can't control it. It can only influence it. Good employees are realizing that there are 4 things that actually drive brand. 1 is how you show up. And what I mean by that is when you enter a room, when somebody sees an email from you, when somebody sees your phone number come across their phone, what is their immediate gut reaction? Are they like, oh yeah? Or are they, oh no? Do you create an attraction where people are attracted to you, not attracted like looking, but they're attracted because they want and they're excited to see you? Or do you create an opportunity for avoidance where people want to avoid you? That's a big way to influence your brand, is how you show up, and be consciously aware of when you enter a room that people show excitement, not want to turn and run. The next one is how you handle stress. How you handle stress impacts your brand. Are you that? We all deal with stress every single day. We can't avoid it. Are you someone who, when stress shows up, that you're one that manages it, that you're one that helps work through it, that you're ones that look at it kind of logically and figure out a way to move forward? Or are you one that when you're stressed, everybody's stressed? Are you one that walks in and they're like, oh, don't bug them today, they're stressed? Like, can the people see it on your face? That impacts your brand. Do you allow your stress to impact others? That influences your brand. The next one is how you give and receive feedback. More importantly, how do you receive it? Do you absorb it or do you try to justify it? Think about this. Next time you give somebody feedback, be aware of how they absorb it. If it's positive feedback, most of the time what I find is they will do one of 2 things. They will deflect it, something like, no, that's not me, that's this person. This person needs the credit. Or they will absorb it. They'll say something like this, yeah, that's just my job. That's just what I do. Rarely do they just say thank you because appreciation is lacking in every organization. So how do you receive it? When somebody gives you negative feedback, watch when you have to give somebody some corrective feedback or negative feedback, again, absorb it. They'll typically, one of these things will show up. They'll justify it, they'll defend it, or they'll try to turn it back on you. Rarely will they absorb it and say, listen, I'm open to the coaching. Give me some feedback on it as we go. So how do you receive feedback? How do you give feedback? Are you authentic? Are you sincere? Are you providing specific examples of what you appreciate or specific examples of how they can improve? That all influences your brand. How you give and receive feedback is a big one. And the fourth one is, how do you present your ideas? How do you present your ideas in a way that people feel like they're walking with you in the process? They're not being forced to do something that you're wanting them to do. So again, those four things impact their brand, and top employees are consciously aware of it. How you show up, how you handle stress, how you give and receive feedback, and how you present your ideas. The model's a 10. The model shows up in every room and people are excited to see that person. They are excited and they're wanting to talk to that person. They know that that person adds value in a positive way into their life. The model handles stress perfectly. Anytime stress comes, the model's able to absorb it, think about the best path forward, implement that plan, and get past that stress. Never, never does the model take his or her stress and put it on to somebody else. The model's perfect at giving and receiving feedback. They are able to position difficult messages of feedback in a way that's easily absorbed. They are able to show appreciation in a way that people really know it's authentic and sincere, and they're not wanting something based on that positive feedback that they give. The model also receives feedback amazingly, right? Anytime there's constructive feedback for the model absorbs it. The model finds ways to work better, to improve themselves. That will help enhance the relationship and always leaves them encouraged, not discouraged. They're also able to get and receive positive feedback. The model says thank you. The model says they appreciate it. They don't try to deflect it. They don't try to absorb it. They really appreciate the moment that somebody took time to give them feedback, and the model's perfect at sharing ideas. Every time the model has an idea, people implement it. Every time the model has an idea, people understand how that's going to add value, not only to the organization or the team, but also other people around them. So the model on their brand is perfect. And the last thing the model does is they're aware of it every single day. And they're doing everything they can to influence it in a positive way. Where's your brand? If you think about your brand in your organization, what do people say about you when you're not there? What are people talking about? What are some of the things you're doing to influence it? You can't control it. You could do everything right and people still not like you. You could do everything wrong and people still love you. But what are you doing to impact your brand? Where are you on a scale from 2 to 9? Take a second, give yourself a number. So now we've walked through these 6 qualities. Let's talk about what you can do to improve as an employee. We all have areas of improvement. If you don't think so, put humility down, put a 1 down, because there's always an area of opportunity. So let's look at your ratings. Let's look at where you put yourself on this scale. Here's my ask. I want you to think about every single quality, but I want to focus in on 2. Right now, I just want to focus in on 2. I want you to put an X by one of these qualities that you really believe you are nailing. You really believe is a huge strength for you. It creates tailwinds. It allows you to be successful in your role. Which one of these would you say is probably stack ranked at the top of your list? Whatever that one is, put an X by that one. And then on the opposite side of that, put a circle by an area of opportunity. I'm not even calling it a weakness. I'm just saying there's an opportunity for me to improve, and it's probably not at its best. I probably could show up better in that quality. Which one would that be for you? So again, an X by the one that you really feel like is at the top of your list, and then a circle by one that you really feel like you can control, make a difference, and improve to improve the quality of how you show up at work every single day. Take a second and do that. Now that you have those, here's the challenge. Do something. Take action. And I don't mean just areas of improvement. You might want to take action that can continuously enhance your strengths that show up on this board. Or You might want to look at things that you can do within your control that can improve your areas of opportunity. On that piece of paper that you've been scoring yourself, finish it with this. Write down 3 actions that you can do this week that will help improve and make you an even better employee. Remember, this is not about perfection. We're never going to be the model. The model's perfect in everything. None of us will arrive there, but it's about awareness. How can you be more aware of where you show up well and where you might have some areas of opportunity? Make it happen. If you found this information helpful, check out my next video where we discuss the 3 types of employees and how leaders can 1, help them out, and 2, stress them out.